A quote to keep you cool. They have all size mini splits in stock, including the greatest brands like Trade, Mitsubishi, Lennox, and Daikin. No job is too big or too small. With plenty of parts for any service, emergency calls and after-hour appointments are no problem. Call Steve at 340-201-5239, William at 340-514-6910, or Carl at 340-244-8030. We're proud to work in partnership with Nuvo Construction. And don't forget to ask about their monthly service agreements, making sure you stay cool all year round. Jolly Green Maintenance. Ho, ho, ho.
AirVoice VI is the best way to let your voice be heard. Would you like to be a part of one of the strongest, most reliable networks? Then you better get on over to AirVoice VI's 3 locations and see what the latest offer is. There's always a great deal on the hottest new smartphones, unlimited talk, text, and data plans, family plans, international calls to over 50 countries, and the accessory selection keeps you looking fresh, fly, and up to date. AirVoice VI, let your voice be heard.
Good morning, Virgin Islands! Looking to get your meat on, your drink on? At Naughty Bar and Grill, we're putting the party on. Live music, karaoke, pool tables, darts, cornhole, HD TV showing all the sports all the time. You know, folks, it's where we smoke the good stuff. Put your Google on it, doggone it, and get down for some succulent hickory smoked Texas barbecue. Fresh seafood and new menu items like chicken wings, wahoo bites, and wait for it, oysters on a half shell. Come check out our happy hour. Half-price drinks, 5 to 7 daily, and remember, Naughty always supports our first responders with 20% off food and to our brothers and sisters down getting the island back together. Bring in your TWIC card and get 20% off food. Call today at 340-718-0544, the fun number, or go online at naughtybargrill.com. It's all about eat, drink, live, love, laugh at Naughty, my friends. Domestic violence is a crime that affects us all. When someone in our community is a victim or survivor, the Women's Coalition of St. Croix is here to help with 24/7 crisis intervention and other free, confidential services. Your help keeps these services available and at no cost to victims and survivors. Visit our website, wcstx.org, to make a tax-deductible donation securely. Thank you for caring.
Come to Tire Kingdom, come to Tire Kingdom. When you need tires for your car, come to Tire Kingdom. For your SUV or your trailer, come to Tire Kingdom. We have every brand in every size. Tire Kingdom. Lowest prices in the Virgin Isles. Tire Kingdom. At Tire Kingdom, we have the largest selection. Number 1 on the island, that is Tire Kingdom. We have custom rims in every style. The best service that will make you smile. Any tire you need, we've got them all. Right at the entrance of Tutu Mall. That is Tire Kingdom. At Tire Kingdom, we're number 1, best prices and largest selection. Call 776-3400. We will be glad to help you. So shop at Tire Kingdom. The best prices, largest selection. We are number 1. Come ride with the winner.
Have you seen the sunset from Paradise Point? Wow, it's breathtaking. And every Wednesday, Paradise Point is open for dinner. They call it Sunset Wednesdays. And there's a full dinner buffet starting at 6 p.m. for only $19.95 per person, with special rates for kids too. You can ride the St. Thomas Skyride Tram up for only $5 per person on Wednesday night. So bring the entire family. Come for the sunset, enjoy the buffet, have a famous Bailey's Bushwhacker, and stay and dance to the sounds of top-notch bands. View, dine, dance, repeat. We'll see you on Wednesday at Paradise Point. For reservations, call 340-774-9809. Paradise Point is also perfect for groups, as well as birthday parties and event celebrations.
The Virgin Islands is swimming in a sea of sharks. The Lime Tree Refinery conspired with the governor to trick the Senate out of hundreds of millions. Richard Branson just beat Whopper to the punch by buying our damaged solar plant. This will cost us many more millions, and the governor still can't keep us from losing millions of dollars in return federal money. The governor has not paid us millions in tax refunds, and the GERS will collapse. Warren Mosler alone recognized how Limetree and the governor tricked the Senate into funding his $40 million payday loan that would cost us hundreds of millions. If only Warren Mosler has the financial history, expertise, and savvy to guide us through these shark-infested waters. I am Ray Fonseca, Warren Mosler's Lieutenant Governor. I'm so grateful to all of you. May God, our Father, bless our Virgin Islands and endow upon our next governor, Warren Mosler, wisdom to continue on the right path.
I'm Warren Mosler, independent candidate for governor. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote.
All right, and we are back, and we are giving you, as I say many times, we're going to confuse you with the facts today. And what we're trying to do, number one, the first interview was a individual who, again, has written several books. He is a functionary in Washington. He's a lobbyist, worked very closely with the Trump administration, so we had an interesting dialogue. We were like two porcupines making love real carefully. And I'm sure Genevieve Whitaker, again, is watching what's going on nationally as well as locally. On a local level, particularly with your experience in the election group over there, your thoughts on the way, again, the election went, not necessarily who won, but the obstacles with reference to either recounts or, of course, one of the candidates was being investigated by an anonymous letter, and it was finally cleared up. At least I think it was. I didn't follow what happened last night. Your thoughts?
Well, pleasant good morning to all of the listeners. Holland, it's always a pleasure to be here. I'm joined here with Troy Johannes, my campaign manager. I want to just also, again, thank the people of the Virgin Islands, especially those on St. Croix who've come out to support me in my candidacy to the 33rd legislature. Thank you. So just for record's sake, again, I am on a leave of absence running for office. I have served as a deputy supervisor of elections. I also served on the United States Elections Assistant Commission, responsible for the very voting machines that we see throughout the country and for the standards set to ensure that we have fair and free elections. Sure. How the elections went, I was really pleased in terms of I went to the tent like everyone else and was able to view the results. They came in quite rapidly, and it was really well carried out. And in terms of results, I really congratulate, again, all the folks who've won and even those who have not been successful to continue, I think, the importance of being part of the voting process, but of being part of the community and continuing and making an effort. And so I commend everybody. And in terms of vetting candidates and things like that, that's always, one of my responsibilities as a deputy was, in fact, to assist with the vetting. And so I know that's important, and we always want that. And the biggest things people ask for is transparency. Sure. And so as much as we can be transparent and provide information.
Yeah, but some people are never satisfied. What I'm talking about is always that tension. And again, how far do you go? In this particular case, it went all the way to the Attorney General, who made an opinion on it, who made the proper questions, again, to the state, which was in question. And then, you have folks that want to see tax returns and stuff like that. Now, our Attorney General can see them, but when you open these things up to folks that are on the board, for God's sakes, what are they supposed to know? Your Social Security number, and this and that. So when do you get a finality of this? And how do you satisfy that group that's always against this process?
But if we look back, for years, we've had issues with vetting. And so let's even speak about the concept of vetting somebody. Right now, if you run for office, are we checking Interpol, and are we checking, in other words, what we want to know wherever you've been in the whole world? Right. Do we right now not only have the levels of agreements with other countries, to know exactly who you are and things like that. So I'm not going to get really deep into that. Those are things that we can look at improving. Right now, I know the answer is no. We're not really ensuring that we know everything about a candidate, and that's a fact. And but I know when I began, that was one of the missions of the board and some of the members who still are there. They want to ensure that we're properly vetting people just to avoid any issues in the future. When you step up for office, and as I have and others have, you're in the public spotlight now.
Absolutely.
So we have to be able to face any challenges and just remain strong and remain committed. So when people ask about your background and information about you, you're putting yourself out there. So,
Sure.
But what I'm concerned with is sometimes is how the board functions. But we cannot, but for electing the right types of people, address the issue of personality challenges. And so oftentimes the work doesn't get done. And so in looking now at my run for office and in serving as I speak to the,
Sure.
For me getting into the 33rd, it's about decorum. And I would add that, men and women serving, there, more women running, the balance of power between
Sure.
women and men. It's really important. What I bring in terms of my own leadership is that ability to reason, that ability I also was in the process of becoming a mediator. I've been a mediator without even being officially as a mediator, and my ability to build consensus amidst all of that. Because I think back to my years of work in the election system, there was a lot of things going on, but I was able to maintain enough level of balance to get the job done.
Well, if anybody has gone through a hazing and asked whether you're qualified to work in an environment where, again, you have a lot of tension and drama, you certainly can do it. And if anybody have watched you throughout your career over there, as well, again, as an activist, you do know how to balance that. What I'm trying to say is that, again, this cynicism that we get out there that you candidates are going to be fighting against is developed when you have the first form of a democracy is getting elected. And if this board is an example of that, again, people just are getting tired of it, and when does it, I guess you're correct. It depends on who you elect, and if you folks want to elect mischief, then that's up to you to do that.
Let's examine that. We have a young man here. I'm glad to see him.
Sure.
I'm really proud of him. Give me your name again.
Johnny Saldana.
Johnny, and so Johnny, just meeting him for the first time, and exactly that. It's getting young people interested in the political process.
Sure.
And I would like to see younger people serving. Let's be real, because I tell people my story about Estonia. I'm still fascinated by a country that I got to visit, where me running at 35 years old was the average age for a lot of people running for office in that country.
Sure.
In a country that was depressed through through communism and becoming now one of the top 8 education systems in the world. And to me, that's fascinating.
Well, Johnny is right. You're talking. This is a 15-year-old young adult, okay, and again, 11th grader. And if you have some questions you would like to ask him, why don't you and two wrap a little bit?
Yeah, great. So, Johnny, tell me a little bit. Before we got onto there, you were telling me about who you are in terms of your interests and even the program. And tell me a little bit more about the program that you did this summer.
Well, the name of the program was the Junior Statesman of America program. And what they do is they pick out a set number of high school students from all around the country, territories included, and they send us to either Georgetown, Princeton, or I can't remember the name of the third college, but it's 3 different colleges that they send us to. I applied to go to Georgetown, and I got in, and there were 200 of us at Georgetown, and there were several different classes, international politics, comparative government, politics and media. I took AP, U.S. government and politics. And then alongside our regular daily courses, we would also have debate workshop in the evening, in which what our debate teacher would do is he would give us a topic, assign us teams, and then, put us to debate regularly. But he would give us about 2 to 3 days prior to prepare for it. And then as of our regular classes, we would have a total of 6 hours of class time per day. And alongside our regular class days, sometimes we would have speaker days in which we would go visit places like the Roosevelt Building, or even they would come to the college itself to speak to us. One of the speakers was Stacy Plaskett. She came to us. I asked her a question about what what did she think was the reason as to why it took us so long to recover from Hurricane Maria. And basically the answer what she gave me was that the funding that we needed wasn't there. And alongside her, there were a ton of other speakers. And altogether, it was a really nice and educational program. And I learned a lot about the way how the national government works.
Excellent. And how do you see that play out? And now you're going back to school. How do you feel as a student in terms of getting involved in student government? And how do you feel about your other classmates? How you would be able to get them, encourage them to be involved in whether it's student groups or forming their own clubs, and young people getting interested in politics, and eventually, of course, in a few years when you're able to register to vote and to vote and even run. Yeah.
Well, myself, I was never really interested in politics until I went to JSA, because I was always a science person and a math person. I was always interested in things like biology and other types of sciences, technology, physics. I was always interested in things like that. I was never really interested in government. But my dad told me to open my eyes to different fields and to get accustomed to as much different fields as possible, so that way when I grow up I don't have to be tied down to one thing. Like, that's how I ended up playing the bass. My dad told me, look, you need to get into music, so that way if your marine biology career fails, you can fall back on music. And then he told me to get into government. That way, once again, if my marine biology career fails, I can fall back into government. And he also taught me different things, such as like welding and other stuff.
So when we come back, definitely hope for you to ask me some questions, and
all right,
look forward to it. Awesome.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. You're on Caribbean Country 93.5, and then I will be directing some more questions to my guest here.
We're going to beat on a wire, take it higher. We sell everything to make jewelry. We're going to beat on a wire, take it higher. Come to Richmond Courtyard and you'll see. We sell wire, crystal bead and thing. Even teach jewelry making. Bring your imagination, get an education. Then teach you now. Learn wire work, seed beading, chain mail, Viking knit, stringing, even pearl knotting. We're going to bead on a wire.
Ladies, be original. Come to Bead on a Wire and create jewelry that represents you. Bring your imagination, I'll provide the instruction. In the Richmond Courtyard by Whitaker, 340-718-2323.
We're going to Bead on a Wire.
Today is your day to discover all that AARP in the Virgin Islands has to offer. They're connecting you to all kinds of valuable resources, like financial planning tips and fraud alerts. So learn how else you can take on today and every day at aarp.org/VI.
I know you were looking for us, but Nigel's 123 has become 4-star trading. We have all that good stuff, like the clothes, household products, baby products, female stuff, and so much more in wholesale and retail. Located in Golden Rock, behind Pueblo East, right next to Longridge Condos. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. Remember, Nigel's 123 is now 4-star trading.
So, it turns out hurricanes do a little bit of damage, especially on cars. Who would have thought? We do have a lot of great options for cars right here on our islands, but there are tons of great vehicles with affordable price tags in a mystical place called Miami. VI Cargo makes it easy to ship. They take care of a lot of the hassle that comes with shipping. So, if you're in the market for a new or used car, VI Cargo will make your new car go from here to there easier than the other guys, and at a great price. VI Cargo, making the seemingly difficult look easy. VI Cargo. Now located in the old Tropical Plumbing Building. Call 340-778-6331 for more information. Pleasant Optical Frame Shop is making it their business to get you back to school in style. With great new luxury frame brands like Tom Ford, Swarovski, Izod, Maui Jim Sunglasses, BCBG, Ellen Tracy, Dilly Dally, Blue Tech, Steve Madden, OP, and other favorites. Located at the Pleasant campus, 3006 Orange Grove on Northside Road, just a few minutes from Christiansted. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Follow us on Facebook at Pleasant Optical to find out about pop-up sales exclusive for our Facebook followers. Call Pleasant Optical today at 340-715-7720, extension 116, or check out our website at www.pleasanthealthcare.com/optical. And for back-to-school students, enjoy the $99 frame and lens package. Teachers, 20% off frames and lenses with a school ID. And USVI students, 20% off with a school ID. Come see us today.
Hello, my friends. They call me Placito. I'm here to tell you about Plaza Extra East. It's where I get all my luscious foods. I must warn you, it's no place for the faint of heart. Even sometimes, it makes me crazy. Me? The options are so many, and the foods are so fresh and so tasty. So next time, my friends, you need the foods. Do like me, Placito.
Plaza Extra East, open 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Plaza Extra East, great price,
Right value.
WVBI Christiansted, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John, Tortola, Virgin Gorda, and worldwide at WVBIFM.com.
Metro Motors has everything you need when it comes to cars. Find yourself in a brand new car with great options for financing. Metro Motors will work with you. So, no matter where you find yourself driving, don't forget that all roads lead to Metro Motors. Drive the Metro way.
Good day. Welcome to Air Voice VI. How can I help you today?
I heard that you have a deal on an H2O wireless plan if I purchase a phone.
Of course. I'd be happy to help. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions first to better assist you?
That's okay with me.
Awesome. First, are you currently an H2O wireless customer?
No, I'm not. But I heard about the special offer you have on a plan if I purchase a phone.
Here are the details. Right now, when you purchase any of our phones in our Samsung A, J, or S series, or an iPhone, you get your first month free, paid for by Air Voice VI.
Those phones are so cool.
With the H2O wireless unlimited talk and text plan, you get 8 gigs of high-speed data. It's still unlimited data and a $20 credit for international callings up to 50 countries.
This sounds great, but I don't have the best credit.
Not a problem at all. We don't do credit checks. No hidden fees. You don't even have to provide your personal information. Would you like to get started with Air Voice VI and H2O wireless today?
Absolutely.
Air Voice VI. Let your voice be heard.
All right, everybody. Wow, I'll tell you, we got so many buttons in here. And, we're switching around the studio. You'll notice it really looks pretty nice, and we've been going through inspections and stuff like that, and it's really comfortable being in here now. Genevieve, let me get down to the chase. We're going to have to transition fairly quick. But one of the issues that obviously is going to be challenging you, we talked about it before, but some enlightening things have come out. We're talking about the commitment to giving pay raises. There has been a determination, again, by the courts that the legislature is the one that has that authority. Unilateral action on the part of a governor, irrespective of who he is, and we're not getting into the map and who's running and who's not. We're talking about institutionally. They're going to have to go back and take a second look at this. It has implications to our unions and, of course, to be able to sustain it. Yeah, your thoughts, and you're probably watching the process. You should be.
Absolutely.
And seeing, again, the stumbles and mumbles and, again, a legislature which I think you and I have agreed over a period of years have not exerted its authority, which it should be under separation of powers. Your thoughts?
So my thoughts on that, because I've been following the process as a person who also wears an HR hat, is that, and who has given raises to their employees, because one of the things I've found important to me is equity and fairness. It was a lot of work involved, but I was dedicated to that cause. I do appreciate that, and also want to thank the employees and the persons I've worked with throughout the years of the elections. What I will simply state is that it cannot be unilateral action. I would like all the HR directors of all the agencies, along with collective bargaining, along with the committee, all the different committees, to formulate immediately a task force to address the salary increases, along with the division of personnel.
Sure. And
do that post haste to make sure that, in fact, we do right by everyone. I am pleased by the increase of the base salaries, and I will be more pleased when we do that in conjunction with all of those, so we can have fairness and equity.
Well,
morale is a big issue, and we have to resolve that, and we have to do things fairly.
When you allow by unilateral action one group or two groups, let's say police and teachers,
yes, please.
And then you say the rest of the folks will be doing it through negotiations with the union leaders, there's nothing left after that. In other words, the part about equity, in other words, the resources are not there. When you give the entry level such a high level, you have literally kicked, again, the unions under the bus. You understand where the problem is going to be?
Very clear on that. Right. So, but again, that wasn't the right process. When I did my salary increases, I got people involved, and then we looked and analyzed, and it was analysis, and it was hard work. So what I'm saying is, in a small agency, that's different. We have massive agencies, 2 huge agencies, and all the others deserving a pay increase. The 8% that was illegal, what I'm saying is, form the task force, let's get this done, and let's get this done. So
let's talk raw politics. You're there. And then what you have to do is, guess what, reverse your position. And the 2 largest unions in the Virgin Islands, one of which are teachers and the police department. Now, all of that has to be reversed. And when you're doing that, that also makes you the boogeyman. You follow me? Yeah. All I'm talking about is what you're going to be up against when you're in there. And again, if it's allowed to happen, and we're talking about structurally, the legislature's got to exert themselves before a chief executive has the temptation to do it again.
Okay, Johnny,
Yeah. Did you have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. So I read the card that you gave me about your platform, and one thing that piqued my interest was public safety. And you said a complete overhaul of the juvenile justice system, being that I actually know some people that get involved in crimes and actually go to juvie. My question for you is, what are your ideas for the complete overhaul of the juvenile justice system?
Excellent question. So as a former, I teach criminal justice and crime prevention. That's at one level. But I am a former teen court advocate, foster care caretaker, and so on and so forth. The overhaul is going to involve the court system, the attorneys, human service, Department of Education, in which we look at, number one, for me, knocking down YRC from a structural point, but also working in addressing the curriculum, addressing the issues that lead to crime. We're talking about the truancy matters, and really looking at issues surrounding why children in the first place have issues with learning. We're talking about early intervention. And in terms of crime prevention, once we get the court, the attorneys, the community as well. I witnessed a community in Tampa Bay, Florida, where the court, with the attorneys, law firm sponsored children, all things where everybody was working together to ensure that we move forward. So I have a great vision, having been an advocate, a guardian ad litem, having been a teen court volunteer, having also been a mentor to young children and also foster care children. I know that the possibilities are tremendous. And even you as a young person being a volunteer in the teen court, you could help those your fellow students who maybe have taken a wrong pathway, even as a teen court judge and things like that.
We're going to have to take a break now, and I'm going to let you go. And I want to thank you for your question there. Johnny, was a good question. And again, I wish you Godspeed, and I'd like to keep you here all day, but unfortunately... All right. Thanks. Johnny, pleasure. Keep your... Sabotage.
Oh, look. It's just the energy of the room, man. Let me 30 seconds in. Okay, 30 seconds. Carl was just saying how much he missed you at the election. Oh, God. All right. How you doing? Sure. You should tell him that.
LG, get me going.
Oh, good.
I got the mayor on my side.